I think he's here. And so are we. And so are all of them. The great ones who came before us to show us the way. Guru Poornima, every year in July, near the full moon of July, is particularly, that wasn't easy. Pray for me, people. It's particularly time to think with full devotion, respect, gratitude, all those good things about your Guru. And I say, why wait till Guru Poornima? Why not tonight? Why not every day? And many people, even watching the streaming in this room, those who couldn't be here and are so devoted to Swami Satchidananda, let's start Guru Poornima tonight. And there's a chant that we chant at that time, and I feel that in my heart all the time, and maybe all of you do. I take refuge at the Guru's feet. When I take refuge at the Guru's feet, all my troubles melt away. And I don't have another way to live anymore. And it happened right from the beginning. I don't know why, but Gurudev said at satsang, from the stage, we were all sitting here, and he said, even to be in this room, he said that thing, you have to have done good works in many lifetimes. So you earn that. But what about the people who are here now, or didn't know Swami Satchidananda, or aren't looking for a guru? What is guru? Gu and ru. Ru, remover. Gu, darkness. What is the darkness? The darkness of ignorance. They've all done it, we can do it too. And that's why we're in this room. Know it or not, the reason we're in this room together tonight is because of His Holiness Sri Swami Satchidananda. Whether you're a devotee or not, whether you're new to integral yoga or not, whether you're looking for a guru or not, whether you don't have that faith and tradition or practice or religion or way or path, still, it's because of Him that we're here, that He made this and gave it to us. Some people can see Him probably tonight in this room. I have a feeling I know who some of these people are. I'm not one of them. I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. Many years ago, Sri Gurudev was in India, and it was October. That gives you a little hint if you want to start getting the presents ready. My birthday's in October. And he was there. I knew he would be there on my birthday, and I was tired of the dry spell. The dry spell means you're practicing. You're going to meditation, you're doing Hatha yoga, you're doing pranayama till you're blue in the face. You're trying to be a good person. You're trying to be unselfish. Serve others. Love others. Forgive everyone. You're trying to do this and you're exhausted every night when you go to sleep. And it was dry. When was I going to have a spiritual experience of the Paramahansa Yogananda called it the divine romance. That's the magic and the mystical and the... When was I going to have that? It's so dry. So, Swami Lalitananda was going to be with him on my birthday. And she had flaming red hair to match her Swami outfit. And she had a lot of chutzpah, if you know what that means. I think you know what it means even if you don't know what it means. Just by that word. And she's the only person that I knew who would have the courage to go up to Gurudev and say, Gurudev, it's Swami Hamsananda's birthday today, and she wants to know if you'll give her a boon. You know what a boon is? Boon is you've earned it by your austerities, your practices, your whatever you've done through lifetimes or this lifetime. And Lord Shiva says to you, you've been standing on your right leg for 150 years, repeating mantra. Ask for anything you want. You've earned a boon. That's it. I wanted a boon even though I hadn't done anything. So, please, even if I don't deserve it, can I have a boon? So, would you please give Swami Hamsananda a boon? She wants to know if you'll give her an exotic spiritual experience. Well, don't you want one too? All right, maybe tonight, hopefully. And you know what'll happen? You'll all get it and I won't. It may always be that way. So, the question was asked, and I received the answer. Swami Lalitananda spoke to Swami Karunananda, who wrote it out for me, and this is as I remember it. Is she still looking for those things outside of herself? You know, the golden present cover, Gurudev is sitting under a banyan tree. And I always thought it'd be great to have a little one of those. Little Gurudev sitting in the palm of my hand. Now that's what I'm talking about. So he said, is she still looking for those things outside herself? Tell her, some people never get those. And I went, oh no, I think I'm some people. So, is she, ask her, is she more peaceful? And is she able to let go of things more quickly? That's the boon. Swami Shivananda, great master, guru of Swami Satchidananda, said the most wonderful teachings always came from him. Why not then knock at the door of the Lord of the world? You will get everything from him. Please run to his door at once. He is standing there with outstretched arms to receive you with intense love. That's the romance. I mean, people, run to the door. I don't mind if everybody gets up now. It would be worth it. He's standing there, waiting with outstretched arms to greet you with intense love. Oh. Hariharan is a devotee and disciple of Swami Satchidananda, and his story is among my favorites. He was living in New York City, going through a difficult time in his life, and with his friends he went to a place in the village which was sort of a, I don't know what, a supper club kind of place. and there was music playing, and he's with his friends and everything. And he needed to excuse himself from the table, and he went to find the place where you. And so he's looking, and he goes through a door, and there he is in this little hallway, and there are several doors, and there's one door and it has shoes outside of it. They're lined up nicely. He opens the door, and there is Swami Satchidananda's photograph, a big one. We've seen it. And at that moment, over the loudspeaker where the music is being piped, it's Bob Dylan, and he's singing, and Hari Haran's eyes meet Gurudev's, and Bob Dylan is singing, "Why wait any longer for the one that you love when he's standing in front of you?" I did that sort of nicely, don't you? I love Gurudev, and you just can't help it. And because of what I said, we've worked hard to get to this room, everyone. I went to the Integral Yoga Institute for the first time, and there was Family Day. And they still must have them. I think they have them in New York also, maybe once a month, I don't know. And there's kirtan, potluck supper, and then a talk on spiritual life. And I sat at supper. I was there by myself, but I sat next to this young man. And I didn't know him, but we were talking during dinner, and he said, "After I read palms, and I give spiritual readings. May I read your palm after supper?" Ramakrishna Saket lived at the Institute in those days, early days. We're talking, so did Satya Greenstone. Many of us did, and started in California. So this is sort of 1971. And if I feel frail in my real age. So, anyhow, so there I am. I didn't know what to do with my life. Maybe some of you have had that sometime in your life. What shall I do? What shall I do? No one gave me any direction. My parents, my teachers. What shall I do with my life? Somebody please tell me. And so there we are, sitting in the hall after dinner. And he took my hand and he said, "Oh, this is very unusual. This line," I don't know which line, "isn't crossed by anything. It means that whatever you choose to do with your life, there's nothing to stop you from reaching the goal." And at that moment, I had an illumination. The first one. 1971, people. And it was fantastic, because I knew what my life was to be and what I was here for. And I was filled with so much joy and happiness, I didn't know what to do. I was so happy. And I had the feeling, because I grew up in the Episcopalian Church, my family and so forth, and all I knew was Jesus. And I had the feeling that this man I'm sitting next to, this young man, if he had been Jesus, it would have been the same feeling, because I felt so much peace and love, and it was divine. So that's how I started. So I came to everything they had, every event they had. And on Thursday night, they'd put me up in the meditation room with a reel-to-reel tape recorder. You even know what that is. And I was by myself, and I listened to Gurudev's tapes every Thursday night. I loved that. I was just drinking water on the desert. And it was just like that, and so filled up. And anything he said to do, I would try, and it would be wonderful. And I'm still doing that. You're possibly thinking, well, I never met someone like that. Or when will something like that happen to me? And what is going to be your last straw? When will that happen? We don't know. We don't know. But our heart's longing, our thirst to know the truth, to know who we really are, who the true self is. What are all these words? God realization, self-realization. What is that? What is that? And we never know when that's going to come. It isn't by doing your pranayama and your hatha yoga every day, but they certainly help. On the way to the realization, which can come like haven't quite mastered that yet either. It can come in an instant, they tell us. So, never to worry. We have to be doing something on the way. We have to be doing something. And so, we're doing this. And that's why we're in this room together. Guru Guru Japna, our sab swapna. Repeat Guru Guru. The rest is dream. And what is dream? We're in a dream together. This is a dream. The dreams at night are a dream. And there is the reality. And so I have to follow my star. I have to stand in my truth. And that's what I'll do. And when does that come? When you want that so badly. You don't have to have accomplished anything. But my advice to anyone who asked, or my last advice in the world, and you never know when that's going to be. What would you say to someone if you just said the last things that were so important to you, which is, it's all God's will. Put your faith in God. Guru or God? They say it is the same. The Guru is God. What could that be like? I want to know. My heart is open. That's what the practices do. They open the heart. I just want to be open to the teachings and know what this is all about. That's available to all of us. You don't like doing hatha yoga? You can't get the right fingers to do alternate breathing. That's okay. There's something you can do. There's something for you that will open your heart. And what is it? Chanting holy names? Singing songs to God? Kirtan? I can't sing. Well, what else? Deep breathing, 5 minutes of deep breathing, 10 minutes of hatha yoga every day, one pose, Swami Hamsananda said. Dr. Amrita McClanahan said 10 minutes every day hatha yoga. Swami Hamsananda said, if you can't do that, one pose. So you make a habit. You know what's at home when you go home? Does anyone have a dog at home? Few people. The others wish they had a dog. Because dogs are great. They just give love. That's what they're here for. And they give you something to love. Everybody has something waiting at home. Even here, where you go to your room tonight, there's something waiting for you, and it's just like the dog. Who has a dog? What happens when you go home and you see your dog?
To me or to the dog?
To you. To the dog.
She gets extremely excited and wiggles her little tail. And
Yes.
brings me a little gift.
She wiggles her hips. She wiggles her tail. She's very excited. What else?
Her entire body wiggles.
I know.
And she always brings me a gift like a pencil or something that she found
She brings you what? A gift. You mean diamond necklace or something?
Business card or a leaf or something.
Does your dog bring you a gift? You have to have some serious talks with your dog when you go home. That is so cool. Well, everybody has something waiting, wherever you sleep tonight, or Monday night when you go home. You know what's there? Your old habits. They're all there. So how about some new ones? No? That's what. You're already rich life. How divine. You're in this room. Finally I got to Yogaville. 14 years I've been trying to. People say things like that. No, I've been trying. When were you here last? 10 years ago. I met you 10 years ago. And we're here now. The root of meditation is the Guru's form. The root of worship, the Guru's feet. The root of mantra, the Guru's word. The root of freedom, the Guru's grace. Okay, I'm going to tell a devotee story. I've said it before, but I can't help myself. Well, I could. You get ideas. We all do. Who's giving you the ideas? Who inspires you? I want to know that person. I want to know what that is. And I want to know now. I don't want to wait any longer. So that can be your first prayer. Please, if anyone is listening, please show me in a voice that I can hear, something I can see, that you're there. And you know what they call that at Yogaville? They call that God. I don't know. But my heart's open. My heart's open. Please show me, because I want something. I want what they've got. When I first came to the Institute, Swami Satchidananda's photograph on the altar at that kirtan in black and white, and he's sitting there so calm and peaceful. And I said that to myself. He's so calm and peaceful. I didn't know who this was yet. I'm not like that, and I want to be like that. So the thirst has to be there. Grace can come, but thirst is a great thing. All right, the story. 1972, maybe, 73. And Satya Greenstone, if you just raise your little hand, is a great teacher. I can tell you that. And about the same time, we lived in San Francisco at the Institute, and we and a brother went to a prison, a dual vocational institute in Tracy, California, to teach once a month, I think it was. Hatha Yoga started that way, and then there was a group that I think they earned it. The way we earned being here, they earned Raja Yoga classes, a small group. And eventually, Gurudev was invited, I think by the devotion that we saw and the sincerity, to come and speak to the prisoners. So we go, and how many hours was it? 2.5, 3.5, I think. It was a long time to drive there. And Satya and I are in the car with Gurudev. I drove going, Satya drove coming home, and Amakid was secretary attending Gurudev then. So we're all in the car, and we go, and we're out in no man's land. There is nothing out there, nothing. That's a good place to have a prison, because if they escape, you don't want to be that close to them. And so we're going, and we got there early. You also don't want to reach prison early. So we got there early, and there is a refreshment place, restaurant of some sort there. And it was like in the old westerns. I know because I used to watch westerns, just what they're like, and the lazy screen door, and see the fans going like that. And there's a soda fountain, and there are booths. And the booths, you know, come to here so you can see everybody and so forth. And so here we are. But first of all, who is this that somehow we're in this car with the master of our universe? Who, whatever that means to you, we were in the car with him. And it's something like every time he would see Gurudev, he would come through the door from his study for satsang, and your heart would go, and Gurudev said, imagine you have a partner, and you haven't seen that partner for 5 years, and you're about to see that partner again. Your heart is big with what excitement and anticipation are you waiting to greet your partner you haven't seen 5 years? This is so exciting, I can hardly stand it. And that is the way the devotee feels about their guru. I'm not alone. I can speak for all of the devotees everywhere of any guru, any master, their spiritual teacher. What if you're in the same car with that person, that master of the universe? We didn't really know what to do, and we didn't know the protocol and what you're supposed to do. So we're learning, we're watching all the signals and that. So it's time to sit down. And Gurudev indicates Amma, and I think she went first into the booth, and then Satya should sit next to her. There's only one devotee left. And where are they going to sit, and next to whom? So I'm next, and then Gurudev sits there. It was the best moment of your life. And in those days, I hadn't mastered eating. And the menus were served to us by the waitress. And you know, they were there in sticky yellow plastic cover. I think you've seen those. My eyes went right to the waffles and pancakes. I'm so hopeful. I was probably starving to death as usual. And I'm very excited about this, my grand opportunity. And Gurudev indicates the waitress is ready to take her order, asks Amma what she would like. And she said, as I remember, a glass of orange juice. My heart went to the boots. I knew I wasn't getting pancakes anymore. Satya, what would you like to have? Orange juice, Swami. Well, I knew what my answer was going to be. Hamsa? Oh. What would you like to have? You mean what I'd really like to have? I didn't say that. Orange juice, Swamiji. We'll have 3 orange juices and a half a cantaloupe. All right, and they come. Still, we're in bliss. I mean, when you get over it, who really cares what we're going to have to eat? We're with him, And so it comes, we're served, and we say a little Mary prayer. I'm sure we did. Gurudev probably. And he takes his teaspoon, and he takes a bite out of the cantaloupe, and he turns to you-know-who, me first, and extends the spoon with the cantaloupe, the one bite on the spoon. And you're thinking, and you gotta think real fast here. How do I get the cantaloupe off the spoon without touching the spoon and getting my cooties on the spoon? So what would you have done? You're all laughing. What would you have done? But remember this lesson in case it ever happens to you. So here's the spoon, here's Gurudev, and here's Hamsananda. Well, my name was Hamsananda. I don't even know what my name was. And I go like this. The two fingers are zeroing in on the spoon. And I'm going to get that piece of cantaloupe off the spoon without touching the spoon if it's the last thing I do. And I did it. Then he takes a second bite and he extends his arm to Amma across the table. And you know what she did. Amma knew what to do in every situation. And she goes like this. So, the receiving hand goes below the giving hand. You know how at puja and you receive the blessed water after puja? Same thing, she goes like that. And then she probably went like this. No, that's the custom. Satya, she had it easy. Well, that's the story. And I just say Gurudev didn't laugh out loud or anything, but he must have been having a great old time. But we were having a great old time too. So let's see. I think nothing else is coming. And so it's time to close. And I'm just sharing with you a little bit because my heart is so full of remembrances of Gurudev, and special times and words and how he looked and how every time I would see him inside, I'd just go, I never got over it. I never got over it. And who knows, people, someday he may be sitting in that hand. And you can invite him to sit in yours. You can invite God to come to you in whatever form you wish. Gurudev used to say, suit, boot, hat. How you want Gurudev to come? Oh, I mean God to come to you? You can have it. And so I wish you all the success in your spiritual life and peace and happiness that comes from the, what? Assurance, faith, budding faith, beginning faith of someday, and hopefully starting tonight, faith in God. And if you already have faith in God, deeper faith in God, because there's no limit. Om Shanti.